Hey y'all, happy Sunday. It's Kate's Garden Chicken and Cat Rambles. I did not put the microphone on, so at least there's no wind today. Sorry, I'm not going to go back in and get it. I did, of course, have to switch to my boots because Laddie's out and about, and you know how he hates the red Crocs. So I thought I'd give a little update. This is the first blue sky and sun we have seen in at least 10 days, so it's nice. This wildflower patch, as you can tell, the tropical storm Ophelia kind of had her way with her. Most of the stuff was becoming pretty old, but this shorter stuff here is still blooming quite a bit. But we've had some cooler nights. So, okay, Chaos and Laddie were drinking together here all the fresh water. There's Laddie. He's been hanging out in the quarantine coop, but they prefer the mud puddle. I came out a little earlier to put out my Halloween flag since it's October 1st. There's Chaos. He had to go check it out. Just a kitty cat. Anyway, we'll take a look at those wildflowers next. But Laddie was trying to get a little froggy with my red Croc, which I only wore them out so I could, slip out of them and walk around the grass, see how wet it was. It needs to be mowed, but it's just way too wet. So there's this year's Happy Halloween little garden flag. So these held up a little bit better, but you can tell they're pretty much spent too. Lots of dead heads. This white one was new. It would have been nice if I'd had them. There's white zinnia. As you can see, there's still lots of bees. They're still enjoying the flowers, so of course I'm not going to cut anything down until, I try to do as much as I can to promote the bee health. That's why I plant lots of flowers that are geared towards butterflies, bees, and hummingbirds. We have some sad stuff going on across our country, especially in the Midwest, with the decline in bee populations. And I don't want to preach, but without bees, you're not going to have flowers. You're not going to have vegetables. They are very important to the ecosystem. That's how crops get pollinated. A few butterflies and a few moths, they just don't do it. You need bees. So Laddie had stopped crowing in the 7 or 8 days that he was under torment from Cosmo. But since he's been out in the yard, he has been crowing again, which is good. So he must be feeling more like himself. I try to encourage him to go closer to the fence. He can hang out with the ladies to the fence. But, he follows me around, kind of like Moira used to. And kind of like Chaos does. And as long as I got the boots on, he's fine. He doesn't like it if my pants billow, so I'm glad it's not windy. But anyhow, he's really good about staying up here in this little side yard here between the car and the quarantine coop. And he's still got food in there. Every night by about 6:30, he jumps up on top of Chaos's little sleep hut, and I pick him up and put him in the coop, and he goes up and roosts, and everybody's good all night. No fighting, no nothing. Paul thinks I should maybe make him a little area out here and bring maybe, like I've said before, Marigold, the Rhode Island Red, who's too old to lay, out here, but I still have enough fencing. But, if it doesn't look like he can integrate well, maybe by next spring, if I have to, I'll put something up out here. But as I've said for the winter, I would prefer that when it's really cold and at night that he be in the coop so he can snuggle with everybody else for warmth, if we have much winter. But we're coming out here. I came out earlier, like I said, and look, onions are coming up. I wasn't sure how well they would do because we got so much rain and so little sun, but get them a little thicker and I'll do some pruning. I picked a bunch of the beets and I ate them. I've still got a few more left in the ground. Under this soil, I think it's just a little too much clay. I'll have to look it up, but for anything else, it seems to be fine. But these root vegetables, I think the clay forces them to develop higher to the surface of the dirt. I mean, it's okay for a little bit of your beet to show, you know, at the top of the soil line, but I think my beets just couldn't grow as deep as they should. So next time I do beets, this spring, I'm gonna use the grow bags for them. I have a bunch more. I have like 4 or 5 of those left. So here are the snow peas, and like I said, though this is a strain that didn't need to be trellised, it sure does seem to be liking having some trellises. But it's blooming, so we'll see how they do. Of course, you know, I did plant enough for like to store and for the winter. This was more just this fall was kind of sampling crops to see how they did. Probably gonna pull this weed mat out here, this weed mat that's here, and this edge, probably from that 6x6 over, and use it for planting next year. Or I may leave the weed mat and just cut rows in it. You know, it does help with weeding. I mean, I still have to weed, but we've been eating a lot of watermelon. There's still a few out there, small ones. I'm not really gonna sweat it. You know, it is what it is. You know, I've been throwing them over the fence for the chickens. That's what the girls are over there doing right now. Eating on one I threw over the fence and then stomped on to make it break in half. Okay, so there is Cosmo fighting with one of the girls, and she's like, I don't want you right now, get away from me. And he'll run from the girls. Those Leghorn crosses, they're not afraid of him. He's got such little spurs right now. Laddie's got one big spur. I don't know why Laddie doesn't stand up to him better. I mean, I've never seen them stand up to each other. Laddie just is submitted. But look at there, at Miss Flower. She's got her hackle feathers all pooped up, stared him down. That stare, everyone else is just watching. Like little frozen statues. I mean, she's submitted, but I think sometimes he just gets a little too randy. He's a little too all about the girls, and they're like, get the heck away from me. She's still pooped up more than her sister there. Kind of look at her. She looks fatter, but she's just more pooped up. So anyway, yeah, Laddie will not spar with Cosmo, which is, you know, typically if you're gonna have one head racer, and any other boys, if they stay around, have to submit. So anyhow, I took the other shade cloth down last week. This will come down. We're supposed to have a couple days get up close to 80 this week, so I'll leave that for a shady spot in case we have some more mornings. But then that'll come down. And like I said, if I need to, I mean, if it becomes that Laddie is getting really attacked inside the coop, I will put a new door on there and get some fencing and make a small little area for him, and I'll stick Marigold in there. I don't want him to be in there by himself, but right now it seems to be working with him just being out here. Like I said, I don't have the materials right now to put up a fence for him. That would be appropriate. Oh, now he's drinking fresh water. But I keep food in here, and he gets up in there. He can get up in there out of the rain. He can get under there out of the rain. And we're not supposed to have rain for several days, so I'm hoping by tomorrow, Tuesday at the latest, I can mow. But anyhow, everyone's doing well. Laddie be nice. So he's kind of being more himself, you know. When he's in the coop, he doesn't even come near trying to have an attitude with me or the boots. He's all about me carrying him around and protecting him, but like I said, he's too heavy to carry around like a parrot. But anyhow, Laddie, come on, be nice. We need to mow this week, and I want to be able to have him inside the yard when we mow, but I mean, I could feasibly get Paul to move this and, you know, do this whole corner here with this coop, So there's always shade, there's always grass, and put him and one of the girls out here. I don't want to hatch in spring. I thought about incubating some eggs. And if one of the girls goes broody, letting her hatch, but I don't want any fertilized by Laddie because of his crooked beak. And that it's genetic, it's something he can pass on. And I mean, Laddie's a gorgeous Americana Roo, but I don't want to pass on any genetic issues. But it'd be nice to have some more little Easter egger babies. And some Easter egger crossed with, you know, Brahma or Old Swine Dot. But yeah, he pretty much just follows me around. He goes up on the porch, eats cat food. But so I'm ready for fall. I am so ready. I mean, I want it to cool off so I don't have to mow, but this week will be my last mow, but I doubt that. I'm sure I'll have to mow one more time. I kind of left their spar yard over there. I didn't mow it last time I mowed. Or did I? I can't remember. It's been a couple weeks, but I'm not going to worry about keeping it short. They seem to be enjoying the little seed heads. The back there, right there where you see the two white chickens, which is Cosmo and Lily. You can see there, all that tall stuff was the mint patch, and these cool. It's already, you know, done its thing and lost all its flowers, and it only takes a few cool nights for the mint to say, you know, adios. They still got peppermint there in that dish. That is their vitamin water, which they'll be getting off through the fall until I'm sure molt's over. They've still got mint there. They've got vitamin water inside. Laddie's got puddle water and clean water, and he is molting. I can tell where Cosmo's ripped some of his little feathers out, but some of it is just molting, you know. And I think maybe molting, you know, he's more focused on just getting through that and not defending his position. I mean, even with that little crooked beak, if he pecks at you, it hurts. So, and he's got one whopping spur, so you know, I think he could probably hold his own against Cosmo. He just doesn't seem to be inclined to do so. But anyway, you can see some gold and some berries coming in on the dogwood tree. Chaos, of course, still wants to sleep in there. Thought about reusing this wall inside, but to get it in there I would have to like cut it in half and then remount it, which I might, but I'm still waiting for this to dry out so I can paint it with kills. And you know, this week I got plenty of time to think about it. I put a couple automatic chicken doors on my wish list, which is not a big deal. I don't even really have to have a door if I don't want, since it's all fenced in. But I don't know, I may, you know, use that wall again in a different fashion and paint that and use it inside the coop. I don't know yet, but like I said, I've got time to think about it. And Paul's got a bunch more recycled building material over at the shop, so we'll see. But yeah, we're all good. Laddie's holding his own every morning. This morning I didn't let him out here first thing in the morning. I came back out about 11 and he was still in the coop, so, and once I went in there, then he came down and came right out the gate. But he is definitely afraid of Cosmo. And I think the problem is Cosmo knows it. But anyhow, they're all doing well, and I'm sad that the wildflowers are pretty much done. And what has still got some blooms is the fence is the only thing probably holding it up. But this right here with these new buds is marigolds, so they may pop out this week. Some of those big, tall marigolds, but I believe the zinnia are probably just about done. So once the marigolds are done, I'll just mow over this. And if anything does come back next year, great. But I'll probably put a new wildflower patch there. But yeah, they all seem to be doing great. This is the little coop that was closed in last winter for the teenagers, and I took the wall down so it could just be a, you know, like a shelter. So if I have to, you know, make a coop, a yard within the yard for Laddie, that will become, I'll put a new front on it and it'll become a new coop. It'll become a coop again instead of a shelter, but I've still got plans to cut some windows in it and that kind of stuff. unless I have to use it for a coop, and then I prefer not to put any more windows because it has a good 4 inches from the top of that pallet there to the roof open on each side. But like I said, for all these, for the 4 inches on that coop and the 4-inch spaces on this coop, I have cut pieces of 2x4 that just pop in there like a little wall, just pops in between, and I have them numbered so I know which one goes where, and I can close off any big drafts and just let out any moisture and have some ventilation. But that's where we're at today. And now he's enjoying some scratch, and I hate it that he's out here and he's by himself, but he can be up close to the girls. If I knew that one of my girls wouldn't wander off, which they probably wouldn't, he would stay with them, but he would either keep them close, or if they wandered off, he would just wander with them, and I don't want that. I don't want him to get hit or picked up or destroyed by someone or something like that. So right now we'll keep doing this until I decide what's up and see how things go. But like I said, at night he comes over and he stands up on that old door, or on top of the that's an extra raincoat that I just put over there to keep any rain from blowing in on Chaos. He likes to sleep outside in that kennel, but that keeps rain and wind off of him, and it kind of keeps him hidden too. So anyhow, I'm gonna end this video here. I hope everyone's having a great weekend. I hope anybody else who's got sunshine and blue skies isn't sweltering under the heat any longer, but I know it's the heat's gonna stick around for a while in a few places. Just I'll be glad when it's gone here. All right, you guys, you have a great Sunday afternoon. Laddie, me, and Chaos say farewell till next time. Bye.